Last friend standing. Check this out. Do you ever play Street Fighter? This is Akuma, my friends. Akuma, in some of the Street Fighters, he's like the last final boss, a challenger boss that appears and is very difficult. And man, he does whip your ass. Right here. Check it out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. So friends, Akuma is super powerful. It's this cheat mode in Street Fighter 2. So he can literally do jumping fireballs. He just runs right through. He literally just smacks your ass. This guy's obviously good, knows what he's doing. He's actually just cracker, absolutely cracker. See that? What are you doing? Jumping fireballs? And he's got a power fireball? So it's really, really tough. Really tough. Okay, so... Now, what has Akuma got to do with crypto? Well, last friend standing, huh? If PulseChain community member NineIronCapital from the pDAI community, this is his logo on Twitter. I'm just saying, if it comes a point in time, hopefully like pDAI is, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 cents, I hope. But if it gets to a point where he sells his pDAI, or he just outright says, it's game over, we can't peg. I'm just mentally preparing for it. Because we've been thrown a lot of bosses here right now, okay? This is part of the game. I don't know why this universe is sending me these signals, friends. pDAI is starting to crank up butt here. But look what actually happened, right? So this was the Maria FUD. 0.005 Maria. So James Atropa Glitter Pants. So Glitter Pants did the FUD where he said, I have reason to believe that Somi is part of the pDAI team. That's when I woke up and I literally shat my pants. I was like, oh, crap. I thought you were the insider. Now I think it was PsyOps. So whatever they were doing worked. But that's when I was like, oh, crap. Oh, no. Because I know I'm not an insider, right? So, it's fine. Or am I? No, I'm not, friends, of course. Okay. You see me, man. Look at my emotions. Did I look like I knew what the hell was going on when it was going down? I was like, oh, I'm just going to buy and believe. Right here was the Richard Heart FUD. So we had boss 1 was Maria, boss 2 was Richard Heart, and boss 3 was Cattie. You know, Cattie comes out with the witch hat and just literally commits a fatality homicide on pDAI and sends it literally to 0 for the second time. Sends it down 99.97%. My gosh. So we've been through some stuff, haven't we? So I'm just imagining in my mind, man, if we do get up here, well, I'll just show you the full chart now. This is the pDAI chart. Okay, just what a wild chart, dude. So they sent it a 0 here, they sent it a 0 here. But if a NineIronCapital final boss appearance turns up there, I'm just preparing, just so you guys can quote me. Because it's funny, friends, like what actually happened was, in the midst of the Richard Heart attacking FUD here, you guys were telling me, Somi, remember you told us Richard might FUD it and say he doesn't actually like the coin. You reminded me of that when I was saying it here, and we like totally forgot, and I had to remind everybody again, which is wonderful. So after going through all these battles, right, thankfully we had Spoonie. Luckily we had Spoonie. I thought each one was the final boss. I was like, oh no, Maria. Uh-oh. Oh, Richard, he's definitely the final boss. And then, no, the season writer's like, no, that's not the final boss, bro. Here's Cattie. And we're like, Cattie? Where'd she come from? Final boss after final boss. They weren't the final bosses, friends. There's one more final boss. Mr. NineIronCapital. I don't know how it's going to play out. Literally, friends, Akuma. Don't know if you remember even Street Fighter. He's super. He's ulti. You can't block it. So if he just charges into you, screen goes black, and he just goes... And he just pretty much like one of the highest damaging moves in the whole game. He just charges into you. Okay, it's pretty much one of the finishes. And how fitting, man. His ultimate move, friends. It's called Raging Demon. I mean, this is from Street Fighter 5. It's just epic, man. It's funny. Look how it started as well. I just love seeing this stuff. That's what it used to look like. It's cute, right? It's cute how they all come out. So the screen goes black. You're like, uh-oh. I don't think it's going to have a nice time. Oh, man, just looking at this stuff just gives me memories. It's just, you know, it's over. Goodbye. Yeah, so I don't know why I keep thinking about, I think about Akuma and Street Fighter because like, oh, you think the game's over, do you? No, there's someone else coming here for you. That's what it feels like, especially in pDAI community. We're like, boss after boss after boss. My God, how many freaking bosses are there? Roll the freaking credits. That's what everyone's pretty much saying. We're like, can't we just pump? Oh man, it's super difficult as well. So right now, as we continue our plight into the future, we are less than 500x away to $1, man. It's like 420x now. So like obviously not financial advice, no crying in the casino. The coin went to 0 twice already. It can go to 0 for the 3rd time and stay there. And you gotta remember all these characters as well. Scrolling down, Mr. Pony picture. Hello, world. I come say PulseChain. So this is the Vietnamese Dong Kid as well. Mr. Decentralized here. The man's here for the DS. I think that's a dynamic savings rate. All right, this man's here for the DSR. So just look, just anything can happen. That's all I'm saying. And remember, friends, highest value content in crypto. You didn't even know what a ratio was. Okay, I've literally been just handed out alpha upon alpha upon alpha. Look at the pWBTC to pDAI ratio. Look how high it was. If you go back, friends, this is when I was posting it up here. See, it was up here. I was showing you, look, pDAI is like extremely cheap against everything. And that's why when this chart is high, it means the purple Bitcoin is expensive versus pDAI. But its price action actually wasn't moving. So it was just pDAI that had been capitulated down. You see how these things, look at this falling down. It used to be worth 1.5 million units. Now it's down to 144,000. I still think it's going to go down to this box around 45,000 units. And I'm just imagining in my mind, how could it get there? It could get there, just guessing, right? Not financial advice, squiggly lines. It could get there when we have some sort of FOMO run that ignites people into pDAI. And they're like totally like forget about pWBTC. Maybe like Richard does some tweets that shows everybody, oh yeah, maybe someone's doing something cool with it. Maybe, you know what I mean? Just to make everybody throw it away. So I'll be looking for those cheap ratios in the future. But remember, friends, you're only able to see this because you look at a ratio. If you just look at the USD prices, you have no idea. Yeah, so that's why it's important. I even, during the capitulation moments, showed you all about the free money opportunity. Look at this free money. See this, friends? Sell. So that's use it all to buy pDAI. All of it to buy pDAI. They're all expensive, you see? And I just checked right now, friends. The Atropa pDAI ratio is all the way down to like 30. Look at that. See? And it used to be like 90. See how it's coming down? So obviously, you don't know when these things are going to stop, but I just had a guess. Let's put on a daily chart. I do think one day it comes back here. That's where fair value is. Oh, man, it's been tough. But you never know. It might do something like that. That's just showing you, right? You can use ratios to kind of identify if something's cheap. So ultimately, doesn't matter how you spin it. We are all bullish on PulseChain as a reflection of the business cycle continuing. Friends, you can be long in any coin, man. Some of you guys, even Avalanche, Binance, and all these other stuff, that's fine. That's cool. They're all the same. I'm just telling you, pretty much everything kind of the same. It's just that PulseChain, growing network effect, similar to Corridanzo from 4 years ago, still not listed on tier 1 exchanges, which means it's early. Okay, you have a contrarian, deep value contrarian cult. That's it. Every single person in crypto industry hates it. They said we're all going to zero. Richard Hart defeated the SEC. You see, just like everything's lining up. And that's why in markets, it's tough in crypto because it's not like stocks where you can just like rotate stuff around. You can't do that. In crypto, we either all go up or we all go down. Pretty much it for 99% of us. So you have opportunity cost. So you can't just say, oh, I'm going to like go into this thing that might do it 2x for the next 3 years and then I'll hop on the other stuff. No. It doesn't wait for you, you know. Maybe when your thing does that 3x, the other thing's actually already up like a 15. So hopefully we can finally clear back up the sack price for PulseChain and then continue the green candles. But my uncle Peter Schiff, right here, friends. What would he be saying next year? Crypto has no value. It's going to zero. Bitcoin's fair value is negative. The only store of value worth holding is gold. Also, have some fun here. Remember, I said 2026, so Bitcoin's price is probably 250K by then. Okay, so friends, everybody has something they like that they're attuned with. And by the way, do you want to know what's the funniest of all? Do you know Uncle Peter Schiff sometimes watches this show? Friends, he's a degen too. Do you know that? He's just a degen with gold mining stocks and maybe the silver stocks. Yeah. And by the way, he puts gold outside of his investment portfolio. He considers it just like the Bitcoin maxis. It's a savings account to him. He's basically exposed to like non-US dollar companies and stuff out here and gold mining stocks. That's in his stock portfolio. He puts gold separately. It's his long-term savings vehicle. It's very interesting. So you'd probably think, oh, it's probably gold, gold, gold. No, he's actually not. He takes punts on other companies around the world because he thinks he's doing a macro bet that still hasn't played out after 20 years. He believes that the US dollar, the Dixie, is very important for your macro, right? He thinks that, see how the US dollar is going down? This is the Dixie. He thinks the US dollar is going to go like all the way down. And what's going to happen is America's going to lose their first place and the rest of the world will benefit. So he's been waiting a long time for like this thing to like go all the way down, but they just always kick the can down the road, right? But he gives the rest of the world too much credit. So actually what he does is as well, to be fair, he'll like look for countries where they don't have much debt, so they don't have to print that much and they might have more resources, you know, like maybe Switzerland's currency and stuff out here. But man, you're trying to suck blood out of a bone. There's nothing there, bro. Just Bitcoin is super rocket fuel responsive to the global M2 money liquidity print. When they print, gold's going up like 6 or 8% per year over the past 20 years, but Bitcoin has been growing in the past 4 years 67% per year. And that's by like a low estimate. That's actually the real number, right? So gold is still being outperformed by Bitcoin. But yeah, that's why everything that we're playing for, like everyone has their own thing. They only have their own kick, right? Because when you do research into something, you eventually get used to, you know, I guess the Bitcoin or the core coin of it. And then you like, you know, you try to close the information asymmetry gap. But, you know, it's not all roses and fairies. I mean, this is a TreeVon friend. So my friend TreeVon, there's a rumor going on. He's an actual real tree.
Any other scam stuff? Oh, yeah. How about this one? Rug pull, right?
Yeah, address that, please.
I love to hear these theories. There's a theory out there on the internet that I have 1 million Ethereum.
Million Ethereum?
Like only has 300,000. And then...
Nigga, when did we hear that?
So I'm just making fun of that, but oh man, it breaks my heart, friends. The date was the high of HEX, Sep 2021. It was literally, everyone knows that month, right? That was the month literally HEX peaked. It was 21 cents at the time he posted that video. It was kind of funny, man. TreeVon, after that video, you think it's high, it went and did another fast 2.5x. It went from 21 cents up to 55 cents. But then he obviously dropped 99% where we're still sitting today. So... in the context of all that, friends, he's replying to the Strategic Ethereum Reserve, SER, otherwise known as Sir! Hello, sir! Right here, SER. The PulseChain stack was added. New. That's awesome, right? So we've got 166,000 Ethereum. Used to be 171,000. 5,000 went to Tornado Cash Ethereum. You probably haven't heard about it because everybody's too busy hating on pDAI. And saying, oh, but you need too much belief and there's not enough evidence. Bro, literally, the money that you thought was going to buy your bags, it just got sent to Tornado Cash. And you have no explanation for what it did. You are just as much as a believer as everybody else. There you go. Your whole thesis for everything pumping was that treasury was going to be used to buy your bags. Okay, there's literally on-chain evidence of it being siphoned out to Tornado Cash Ethereum. There you go. No explanation. So it's just funny, friend. Isn't it funny? Yeah, it's ironic. It's hypocritical, but it's all right. It's all right. I get it. But I'm telling you, friend. That's why I have like a 3D scope, a 3D view, 4-dimensional view of everybody's perspective and what they see in the market. Because everybody thinks they're the special snowflake, right? Everyone thinks what they're in is a sure 100% bet, and everything's safe with them, and everyone else is stupid. That's what they all think. And I'm like, you know, I have a stupid coin, which is mentioned by Richard Hart 33 times in 1 month. Very stupid. Requires belief. One of all the coins I own. But, you know, different too, by the way. He can dump it all with the origin address in 5 seconds. You know that? Yeah. It can all go to zero. Everyone needs belief. Okay? The more you got to believe, the more risk there is. But there's more upside if everybody else is wrong. That's why a lot of other people, right? They were, hey, I don't want to believe too much. I want certainty. Okay, bro, go buy a government bond. They will print 5% of their dog shit fiat currency for you, and you will get underperformed by all the retardio stuff that you see out there in the world, including memes. That's it, okay? If you want that safe blue pill cushion government bond life, go buy it. They tell you to go buy it all the time. But you're not going to get the upside reward. I wonder if we'll ever return back to this former glory. Interesting times. So right now, friends, I want you to just look at this chart. This is the business PMI cycle that I put here for you, okay? We're still in this 48 below 50 zone, okay? We need above 52. It's been 30 months. So I want you to mark this date in your calendar today, okay? Just mark this date. We're in the month of March. What is it? 21, 22, whatever it is, March. Today, the Bitcoin dominance is 64%, okay? So Bitcoin is about 2/3 of the industry, 64%. Now, you know this man on the left, Michael Chad Saylor. Michael Chad Saylor has laser eyes. Pew, 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 pew. Okay. He has publicly gone on stage with his cute little Michael Saylor presentation skills. Okay. I'll just show you. Right here. Okay. He goes on stage. He goes on stage right here.
25. And you can see Bitcoin is just continually outperforming. The worst 10-year stretch it ever had was 50%.
Okay. He comes out and with a straight face, he tells everyone somewhere in here, he says, Bitcoin's going to $13 million. Nobody bats an eyelid. $13 million is 250 trillion market cap. Okay. The entire US economy today is 22 trillion. Stock market's like 40 trillion or whatever. But yeah, the entire US economy is 22 trillion. So, but friends, I'm not even saying it's not going to get there. Okay. I don't know. I'm just telling you the crowd is drunk off Bitcoin dominance euphoria. A man goes up on stage and after Bitcoin's already done an 8x, he then says it's going to do another 130x return from today. And it's going to be 10 times the size of the US economy. What does this thing do? Literally nothing. No privacy solutions, no DEXs, no NFTs. You can't do shit on it. Maybe you swap around some shitty little JPEGs that no one cares about. It's very, very inefficient. Barely any wallet support. You have no stable coins on there. Can't trade on it. What do? Nothing. You literally do nothing. Okay. But here's the thing, man. I know Bitcoin's going to grow, but people aren't saying anything. That's all I care about. We don't know the future. Yeah, you're not going to pretend to know the future. But people are saying nothing. They're not saying you're crazy. You're just saying, oh yeah, of course. But why are they saying that? Well, you know why. It's because Bitcoin dominance has been going up only for 4 years. Right here. They go, oh yeah, this thing's been going up only for 4 years. 4 green yearly candles so far. But if you dare to say altcoins are going to do 100x, people literally want to kill you. There's literally another KOL called everybody in PulseChain stupid effing retardios because some people dare to speculate that the things can go 100 to 250x from here. Bro, Michael Saylor is literally saying the thing he holds 4% of the circulating supply of, removing Satoshi and lost coins. He's literally saying, yeah, the thing I own is going to do another 130x and it's going to be 10 times the size of the US economy. Do you want to know what's funny, friends? This is the funny part. You know that what he's saying? What he's saying is his own personal stash will be able to buy half of America with MicroStrategy. That's what he's saying. They have 590,000 BTC. If that's worth $13 million a coin, he's literally saying you will literally be able to walk in and buy half of the entire American continent. Toby's mustache, Dr. Hexologist, and all his very, very real and legit medical records and his degrees. Mr. Captain RG3, the pirate, he'll be able to buy all of them. All the land, half of everything. And no one says anything. They go, wait, bro, you're literally telling me your Ponzi up-only token that literally does nothing. You're going to be able to own half of America. You, because you bought an internet Ponzi coin. No one questions it. And I like it. But I'm like, look, hey, man, you're all complacent as hell. It's just a ticking time bomb. Okay? Instead, they suck him off and they take on more leverage to buy Bitcoin. Ivan always talks about sucking lollipops. What about Michael Saylor's lollipop? Has anybody ever thought maybe you're all basically got your heads up your ass? You ever thought about that? You're a bit too arrogant and cocky. You honestly think that altcoins as Bitcoin's infrastructure are going to zero and that people are just going to keep buying a pet rock to the tune that it's going to be worth half of America's freaking GDP? No one says anything? Nope. Okay, cool. Okay. What that tells me is everybody is super, mega, turbo leverage long BTC and the altcoins are way, way, way undervalued. Way undervalued. Remember, on the contrary, people who are bullish on Ethereum and other altcoins are considered lunatics with stupidly high targets. I am waiting for the business cycle to continue. So all of these conclusions that you've seen, friends, pretty much you're seeing the height of Bitcoin dominance. You've seen business PMI down 30 months in a row. So you're going to have a completely different tune here. And did it happen in the past? Yes. So we all thought the world was over from the zombie virus here when they leaked it out of the Chinese lab and you were literally ostracized and they were giving you capital punishment publicly for even saying something like that because they wanted you to believe that a bat had sex with a Pokeball and then shat out this virus somehow. No, it came from a Chinese lab, dude. By the way, you really want to go down the rabbit hole? I'm making this up. It's true. They tested who is the most prone to getting damaged from the zombie virus that came from the Chinese lab. Pretty much every single race, your fertility was negatively affected, except if you were Chinese and Israeli, which is really weird. Really, really, really weird. You can actually go check up the stats. Go look it up. Go look up the tests. They tested it. So strange. Every other race, you had negative fertility impact from the zombie virus. Except Chinese and Israeli? Really weird. Really weird. You know what's also strange? President Netanyahu from Israel keeps a trophy cabinet of the vaccine in his office. Very weird, man. That's his office. That's real. It's mounted in his office. That's so... You gotta admit, dude. You know, when I first read it, I thought it was one of the cuckoo people. And I looked it up. I was like, no way, that's real. That's real. That's all real. So you can conclude what you want from that. For the rest of us, remember, zombie virus. It's all over. And then 12 to 18 months later, I would like to buy your JPEG for $200,000, sir. Yes, okay. He's egg. Well, congratulations. You are the proud owner of a shiny new JPEG. Now, we're waiting for our $200,000 JPEG moment, aren't we? Right? But we're obviously so far away from it. But yeah, we're not there yet. That's why look, everyone jokes about it. Dude, you're talking about $13 million BTC, bro. Let me tell you something. It was awesome. One of you asked me in my one of my chats, he's asking something, why is a $13 million Bitcoin, why is it really that controversial? Because the growth rate of 20%, it's not that high, is it? Well, yeah, it is. Okay. Gold perfectly mimics the global M2 money supply growth rate. Okay? Because gold does nothing. You can't debase it. It's stable. That's it. Okay. Gold is about 5 to 6% per year. Okay, if you check it up. And it actually varies because they've been debasing a lot actually recently. Check this out. The last 5 years, gold's up 13% per year. 10 years, about 10%. 20 years, 11%. 40 years, 4.8%. So as you can see, in the past decade or two, they've started to money print the crap out of it, right? So that's why gold's doing 10%. But why this $13 million number? What they're basically assuming is they think once Bitcoin crosses gold's market cap, it will continue doing this 20 to 25% growth rate. Dangerous assumption. See, you just plug in any model and go, it doesn't matter, this thing's going another 130x higher. See what I mean, friends? But it's so far into the future, we don't actually need to worry about it. All you and I need to worry about is maintaining and confirming friendship as we do, and getting to this moment where finally business PMI is above 52 and we have the double bubble alt seasons. That's what we're waiting for. That's really all we can control. But, if you believe that's going to come, altcoins are the cheapest thing in the world right now. Ethereum's cheap. PulseChain is cheap. EHEX, PHEX, Inc. Dare I say even the JPEGs. Everything is freaking cheap. Don't even get me started on pDAI. They're all cheap. Very, very, very cheap. And all of them are super cheap against Bitcoin. Okay, so the crowd is drunk off Euphoria. I just showed you, friends, pWBTC to pDAI ratio. I told you ratios work. Of course they do. That's how I actually made money day trading. I did not know how to trade outright. I had to learn how to do spreads. Spreads, ratios, same thing, right? So there you go. I've unlocked the future potential for you. All we have to do is keep tweaking our nipples, pray for a better tomorrow. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you soon.